Hello and welcome to our number talk. Today we are looking at the expression 36 plus 38. What we do in a number talk is we use mental math. That means no paper and no pencil to try to figure something out, and then we look at all of the strategies we could have used together. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and do that. Pause the video, figure out 36 plus 38 in your head, and when you have your solution, go ahead and unpause the video and we will look at all of the different strategies together. So the first strategy that we could have used is going to be our associative strategy. We're going to be using this quite a bit. This is our grouping strategy. This lets us take the groups of 3 or more add-ins and just change the way we're adding them. And so we could use the near doubles because look at this 36 plus 38. Both of these are really close to 35. So if I just think of doubling 35, well, that's pretty easy. I can double 35 in my head. So what this does is this gets us 36 plus 38. And really, I'm just going to think of this 36 as 35 plus 1, right? There's 35, then I've got that 1 left over. And then I'm going to think of the 38 as a 35 plus 3. I've got these 3 left over. So I'm going to use my associative property to regroup these into doubles. So I just want my 35s together because I could double 35 in my head. 35 and 35, that's going to be 70. But I need to reorder these. I need to move this 1 back here with the 3 and regroup those together. And so that's where the commutative property comes in. So my commutative property is my order property. So I can regroup these and I can reorder them because they're all add-ins. And so my 35 and 35, if you double that, you got 70. And then 1 and 3, that's 4. So add 70 and 4. Hopefully, you got the answer of 74. So that's using near doubles. We could also use the associative property for making tens. And so what we do is we look at our first add-in. Here's our 36, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4 to make a 10. So I'm just going to steal these 4 right here. And I'm going to add them to this big chunk right here. So that's what this looks like. I've got 36 plus 38, and I'm going to really make it 4 plus, and you notice I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 34 left. So what I do is I break up that 38 into a 4 plus 34, and then my associative property just lets me regroup, so I can do my 36 plus 4 together. That's going to be pretty easy. 36 plus 4, that gets me that 40 that I was looking for. 40 and 34, that's a lot easier to add mentally, and that's going to still give me my 74. So you can make a 10 with that first add-in. You can also just break it up in place value, and that's also going to use both associative and the commutative property. So let's just add our 10s together. And then let's just add our 1s together. Let's just add these 2 chunks separately, and then we'll just put those 2 sums together. So what that looks like is this. We've got 36 plus 38. Really, I'm going to break up each into its place value. So 30 plus 6, and then 30 plus 8. And then I'm going to reorder them and regroup them because I want to put my 10s together. So I want to do my 30 plus 30. And then I want to do my 6 and 8. Now my 6 and 8 is still going to be a little bit big here, but my 30 and 30 give me 60. My 6 and 8, that gets me 14. I add 60 and 14, and guess what I'm getting? Back to 74. Now we can also add up in chunks. So it's similar to place value, but what we do is we keep that first add-end all together. So I'm going to take my first add-end, and then I'm going to take the 10s from the second add-end. I'm going to add it in one big chunk. So this looks like this. I've got 36 plus 38. I'm going to keep my 36 together, but I'm going to break up my 38 into a 30 plus 8. And I'm going to use my associative property to regroup them because I want to add the 36 and 30. So I can do that without any regrouping. So 36 plus 30. And then I'm just going to add that 8 afterwards. So 36 and 30 is 66. Still need to add that 8. and that's going to get me back up to 74 again. Finally, we can use compensation. Now what compensation does is it really just changes the numbers. So here's my 36 plus 38, and I'm going to see which of these add-ins is closest to the next 10. It's this 38 right here. Look, if I were to take these two away, and I were just to draw them right here, I'm just going to shift them completely over. Well, now I'm going to have 34, and now I'm going to have 40. So if I take 2 away from my 36, that gets me 34. Add those 2 to my 38, I get 40, and you can do that. That's called compensation. And look what happens when you do 34 and 40. Well, that's a lot easier, and there's going to be no regrouping involved, 74. So those are just a few of the ways that I could think of to solve 36 plus 38. If you can find another way, that's fantastic. Go ahead and add that as a comment on the video. If you are a teacher and would like a copy of the slide deck for your own use in the classroom, you can find it on my website, 5minutemath.net.